Hey everyone, my name is the Theme Park Evangelist. It might be a little dark in here, just give me a minute while I turn on a light. Anyway, sorry about that. So I am using my brand new laptop. Believe it or not, the laptop that was downstairs at my parents' condo was the one I was using at my parents' condo whenever I was vlogging over there. But as of last night, I was over there, and my dad surprised me on my way over to him, and he said, "Oh, you can go ahead and you can take my old laptop home. It's yours now." And I was like, "What?" Well, there had been a lot of uncertainty, if that makes any sense. Like he was on the fence about when I could take it, when I could not take it. Um, At first, it was supposed to be today, then it wasn't, then it was going to be next week. So he ended up just giving it to me yesterday anyway. The reason why is because he ended up already getting his new laptop. He already got it set up. He was already able to play on it yesterday. Actually, he even let me play on it for like 30 minutes yesterday. I was very impressed. And he said that I'm allowed to play on it anytime I'm over, which is really nice of him. My dad could be really cool and nice sometimes, but I mean, just giving me his gaming computer is like super cool. So this is actually the gaming computer I used to use whenever I was at his place to play League of Legends with Brian, who I went to whatever you call it, Kings Island that one time with. This is also the gaming computer I used to use whenever I wanted to play Steam downstairs. Um, and also this is the same computer that I would use whenever I was not necessarily wanting to go upstairs to play games, but I still wanted to play games. So I can play all kinds of games on here. This computer has a lot of the same capabilities of playing games like it does upstairs. It might be a little bit slower, but regardless, and just keep in mind everything I'm talking about is regarding what I used to be able to play at my parents' place back at their condo in Oakbrook. So, and I'm back in my apartment in Dry Ridge. So, needless to say, very exciting stuff. I'm very happy to have my own gaming computer now. The last time I honestly had any kind of gaming computer, no lie, was back in the 90s. And even then, that thing was slow, but still. I have been pretty much just using my dad's computer while I've been living with him. And then when I was actually living back in my last place, so not my parents' place, but the place before that, I was using my brother's computer because my brother was living with me back then, and that was the only other gaming computer I've had. Otherwise, I've literally just relied on game consoles, like the game console in front of me. I've had this Xbox One now, few years. I actually bought it off of my brother's good friend Casey, and I promise it's a guy name. I know it's also a girl name too, but he actually wanted to give it to me for free, and I insisted I give him something. He said, "Okay, I'll take $50 for it." And I said, "Deal." So I gave him $50 for it, and now it's all mine. I don't remember what I did with the Xbox 360 that I used to have, but I now own an Xbox One S, and my brother has the other Xbox One S at his place. And my brother also has the nicer TV. I just figured that there was no reason for me to carry it around with me because, like, what was I going to do with it? So I said to Jonathan, "You keep the TV. It's yours. I don't have a problem with that." And then when I get married to Katie next August, we'll look into getting a bigger TV for us to, keep for until that, goes. So as you see in my title, I'm going to be discussing next today. So last time, sorry, let me stop there for a minute. Last time I talked to you guys about what it was like for me to type my very first paper for college, and like or just not even just my first paper, but like what it was like typing papers for college. This time, I actually wanted to talk to you guys about um, what it was like taking a hybrid remedial math class versus the other two math classes. This one is not going to be as exciting. I actually thought about it just now. I don't remember what I was going to talk about last week, but I just figured that one thing you guys should know about me is the fact that math used to not be my strong suit. It's starting to get there. Um, I'm starting to become more logical. Trust me, I'm still not the sharpest tool in the shed. Not to quote All Star or anything. No, not All Star. All Star the song, Smash Mouth the band. But um, but still, I don't always catch on to things quickly. It really just depends on what it is. Um, there are certain things that I can catch on like that, and then some things I'm just like, huh? But, at the end of the day, you give me about a month, and I'll start to get the hang of it, and it really just depends on how you talk to me about it. If you are going to stand there and just start yelling at me, going, you're not getting it, why aren't you getting it? And that gets me nervous and frustrated and makes me do that much worse. So, it's sometimes in that sense, it's probably best to take a different approach. I wonder why this installation stopped. Sorry. I just suddenly realized. There we go, got it. Let me turn off my controller really quick. Okay. I just want to make sure that all of my downloads are completed while I'm YouTubing. I don't got a lot of time this morning because I got to get ready for work here, but I do want to at least play a little bit of Xbox. So I'm going to try to keep this about the 20-minute mark. So, more or less, when I was originally taking math, I was in two different remedial math classes. The first one was 00018. I promise it has nothing to do with James Bond. And at the end of the day, I ended up just failing the class altogether. For whatever reason, they let me move on to 0057, which was the next one. You had to take 0018 and 0057 in order to get to intro to math or whatever it was. And there was like college level math 1 and college level math 2, and that's all I had to take in order to, for math that is, in order to fulfill my associate's degree. And let's just, as far as remedial classes are concerned, I didn't get it. I bombed both, and as soon as I got through one, they just threw me right into the other, and then finally they decided, well, let's go ahead and just try again. And I was actually talking to my high school best friend. Thankfully, we were still friends at the time. Unfortunately, after he started working at Walmart, I started losing track of him. And I think his parents started forgetting who I am because I just saw them at Wawa a few years ago in Lake Wales, which I don't even know how that's doing right now due to Hurricane Milton. And I recognized them, but they didn't recognize me. I don't forget people easily, but people forget me easily. It's unfortunate, but maybe that's a good thing. Because there's a lot of people that did me dirty back in Polk County back in the day. Um, but anyway, um, yeah, I was, more or less just like, okay, what do I do? I'm, struggling in these math classes, and he told me, there's a really cool hybrid class, and the professor's really good. She also taught at the Lake Wales campus. that reminds me, I actually remembered what I was going to talk about. I was going to talk to you guys today about the two different campuses. You know what? I'm just going to say that for next time. I promise. I will actually remember it this time. So, just so you guys know, for next week, there are like, or at the time, there was like, I don't know, 3 or 4 different campuses. So, there were 2 in Lake Wales back when I was going to Polk State College. There was one in downtown Lake Wales. There was another one on State Route US 60, which runs from Tampa, which got hit by Hurricane Milton dead on, all the way down to Vero Beach, which TJ only lives about an hour from there. There was one in Winter Haven, which I don't even know how that got affected, how much that got affected by Hurricane Milton. There is another one, Lakeland. I'm very sure that got hit hard by the hurricane. Notice I'm trying to incorporate the hurricane into this YouTube video because they just dealt with Hurricane Milton all day yesterday, all night last night, and they're still dealing with it right now as I'm talking. So, to be praying for them. So that's all their campuses right there. They call the Lakeland campus the Airside campus, but ironically, that is their main campus. I've actually been to all of them. I never thought I would. I think the reason why I went to the Lakeland campus is because I wanted to know if this math class that I was taking was going to be online or not. I wasn't 100% sure, and I just drove over there. I don't. That might have been like one guess. But I'm very sure the real reason is because I was out that way and I saw it and I was already taking a class through there, which I will go into another time because this was honestly, if you guys thought that Howard Kerner, the professor that balled up my paper in front of my face, was the worst, actually, this next professor was the worst, but that's another story for another time. And that title is actually going to be called The Worst College Professor I've Ever Had in My Life. And I'm really interested in talking about that one. And I really wanted to go see this campus. I was kind of hoping to meet him too so I could tell him my thoughts, but unfortunately he was not there because I think I really wanted to go track him down and, have him explain to me his reasoning for what he did. But yeah, he's kind of a little hard to pinpoint. So, I mean, overall, beautiful campus, but yeah, I don't remember why I took a math class online. I think I was just honestly trying something. I was trying to get through college level math, and I was trying different ways of getting that degree. With I figured, well, maybe I just need a little bit of a break from taking it through the Lake Wales campus. Let's try a different approach, and that ended up being the worst decision of my life. Some people have told me that getting married to Katie is the worst decision of my life, and I know one person in particular, and I had to block her a few days ago, and I felt bad about it because I did it just before the hurricane, so I have no idea how she's doing now. So, Lord willing, she's going back to work tomorrow. That's all I can say is that Lord willing. I still am concerned about her, even though she and I are not on good terms right now. But that doesn't mean I can't care. You know what? If this is not going to download, then I'm just going to cancel it. This is ridiculous. Let's just go ahead and sign back in. Alright, well, like I said, um, the hybrid class was honestly the best decision. The professor was a die-hard hockey or Tampa Bay hockey player, and I have no idea why he keeps doing this to me. Sorry, I seem so distracted. You know what, I'm just gonna pause this for now. Yeah, ever since I got this Xbox connected to the internet, it keeps wanting to sign into a Microsoft account. I honestly haven't used this Xbox in so long that I don't even remember any of the Microsoft accounts. That's not something I really want to go into, but let's just say I never used it while I was living with my parents, and I have my reasons, but once again I don't. It's not something I want to talk about. Um, that's why I did a lot more YouTubing there, and that's why I played on the PC a lot more. So, anyway, yeah, the hybrid class was interesting. We met like a couple of days a week, usually on Mondays and Wednesdays. We usually met for at least an hour and a half to 2 hours. The professor would go around the room and just help the students as they needed help. It was very self explanatory, self taught. The professor was more or less there for your personal benefit, your personal gain. Um, Professor was very nice. She was very encouraging. She was constantly trying to make sure that I was understanding everything, and I really appreciate that a lot. Um, I did only miss one class while I was attending that campus. I mean, that class, excuse me. Um, if I honestly were to think back about how many classes I end up missing at that campus altogether, it would probably be about five, but that's okay. And more or less, the only reason why I end up even missing a class is because of the fact that my dad's friends were in town from Ontario, Canada, and we all wanted to go to Disney Quest together. But I did the right thing, and I asked her ahead of time, "Hey, can I miss class? I'll do any makeup work." And she said, "Oh yeah, that's perfectly fine." I kind of figured it would be, and I was always at class. Otherwise, I was always on time. I always stayed the entire time. I never left early. I was always giving my 100%. Guess what? I got an A in the class, if I remember correctly, if not a B. And I mean, come on, like, how cool is that, right? And I was like the first time I had ever done well in a class. If I got a C, I'd be shocked. Once again, I don't remember now because unless I actually log on to my old Polk State College account from 5 years ago and look back at all my grades, I don't even remember. And it's really not that important. So I was very thrilled when the whatever you call it, the place, the academics office, yeah, that's right, said to me, "Okay, you can go ahead and register for college level math." I'm like, yes, finally, because there was no way I was going to move on to college level math unless I got past this part. And the stupid part is those other two math classes I was telling you guys about earlier, I, spent almost $700 on those two. At the time, math classes were 300, I mean, just call classes in general, were $336 per, like, 4 credit hours or whatever. And I just basically gave the school money for free. And I felt like that with the other two math classes I ended up taking because I ended up giving the school money for the two college level math classes that I took um, between 2017 and 2019, closer to 2018 to 2019, really. And I ended up spending a couple of $1,000. And apparently, Polk State has this rule that states once you get to your third and final attempt, you have to pay out of state tuition. So that original cost I was telling you about, guys, about $336 for 4 credit hours, that's in-state tuition. You have to be a Florida resident and living in the state for at least a year. You have to prove that you're a Florida resident. I would assume when you go to register, which by the way takes about an hour, and I don't even remember who I went with back then. I think it was Chad, some bisexual guy I used to hang out with back then. Back then when I was going down the wrong path. These days I would go with Katie, but things were different back then. And I was at this campus, and they told me, I have to prove that I'm a Florida resident. And get this, they said if you were to pay for it right now without proving you're a Florida resident, $2,000 at the time. And that was years ago. Could you imagine what it is now after COVID? And if I were to go and take a class at Polk State College right now as a Kentucky resident, I would have to pay whatever that cost is, even if it's $3,000 for 4 credit hours. That's insane. Who's got that kind of money? I mean, yes, some people are like, oh, dude, that's dirt cheap compared to some places. Like, I'm aware of that, but that doesn't mean I had that kind of money. And the every college out there is like, oh, we have student loans. Oh, you can apply for scholarships. Trust me, you didn't want to hear that sneeze. That was loud and powerful. But there's just so many cost factors involved with going to college in general. Whether it's Polk State, whether it's Gateway Community College here in Kentucky, whether it's even Eastern Gateway Community College, which I went to online in Steubenville, Ohio. There's just so many cost factors involved. Not every place is going to have housing. Yes, I should mention that Polk State College is a community college. Even though they classify themselves as a state college, they do not have in-house residency. So in order for me to become a Polk State College student again and pay their prices, I would have to move back to Florida, and I would have to live there for a year, even if it was to move in with TJ, and then I would have to bring a car with me, even if it was Katie's car, and I would have to get myself to college, and I would have to be willing to drive all the way from TJ's place in Indian Lake Estates out to Polk State College every single day or whenever my classes are. I could opt to do online, but why would I want to do that? So, needless to say, I'm thankful for the time I had at Polk State College. I'm thankful that I took that hybrid math class. I'm thankful I even had that hybrid math class when that professor was, actively there. All these professors I'm telling you guys about, who knows if they're still teaching or not? Unless you actually go on ratemyprofessor.com, there's no way of really knowing if they're still even teaching or not. I mean, for all we know, they might have retired by now. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys right now that I do not know still my schedule for next week. So as of right now, I do not know if there's going to be a vlog on Sunday. I know this sounds like a big and then once again I apologize about this vlog being a day behind, but I had to clean up my old computer for Katie so she can have it, and I'm supposed to have it completely ready for her by tomorrow, but we'll see how that goes. I should by tonight, but anyway, and I also had to get this computer all set up and ready for myself, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. And I figured, yeah, why not go ahead and get over and done with? And I figured I would have some time to do YouTube before I left for work, so I'm glad I got it done. But yeah, my boss was on vacation this week, so unfortunately, I have no way of knowing what my schedule is like next week until later. But like I said, it's a lot to ask. I know this sounds like an inconvenience. I know it's a lot to go to facebook.com/the theme park evangelist. I know a lot of you guys don't, and I completely respect that and understand that, but if you want to know about any of my upcoming vlogs, especially when I can't always update you on here, that's what I would do. I'm more active on my Facebook page than my community tab. I am trying my absolute hardest to keep everybody updated on my community tab on here, but at the end of the day, it is so much easier for me to post on my Facebook page. Why? Because I'm already on Facebook a lot as it is, and my Facebook page is connected to my Facebook profile. So, check it out. Worst case scenario, just check Sunday evening, Sunday night for a vlog, and you should see one. I may not always get to vlog everything at a consistent time. I know that's extremely frustrating to everybody. I apologize about that. It just really depends on what I've got going on. My schedule's also been very inconsistent lately, and that's been driving me crazy. Like yesterday, for example, I had an interview with Dunkin' Donuts. I'm trying to get a second job. I'm not making enough hours for my main job right now. And then I had to go run some errands, and then I've been anxious to finish playing Back to the Future, the game, at my parents' place, so I went and did that. And then my dad showed me his new computer. By the time I got done with that, I had to take care of some stuff for my parents. And by the time I got done with that, it was practically time for me to go to community group. And then I got home last night with all my stuff, and I basically spent all night until I went to bed at 1 o'clock in the morning, getting the computers worked on. So yeah, fun times. But I will see you guys in the next vlog. And always remember, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. Have a great day. Peace out.